My views on the recent Starship launch. Do I consider it successful or partially successful? This happened a couple of hours ago, 2, 3 hours ago. The Starship is the most powerful rocket ever built. It's more powerful than the Saturn V rocket that was built by what's his name? I forget the name. Uh, Not Werner Heisenberg, but Werner von Braun, the German rocket scientist who later became American. So he built the Saturn V rocket in the 1960s, the rocket that took the first humans to the moon's surface, and brought them back. Oh, well, the rocket didn't bring them back, but you get the point. Now, the Starship that Elon Musk is developing currently, SpaceX, and which is his company. Starship is the most powerful rocket humanity has ever built, and the latest launch happened just like 2, 3 hours before, right this moment. So the rocket took off. I haven't seen the details of the whether it went into orbit or not. I know that the rocket took off successfully. I know that probably the rocket itself touched down on one of those ships, at sea, and it touched down successfully. It's not been lost. It's not been destroyed. It touched down, and it's going to be brought back to the facilities. And the booster also came back, and it was actually captured by that gigantic clamp on that launch pad. So the booster also came back, and in a very precise way it was captured by the two clamps. So it's an incredible success. It's not partially successful, it's successful beyond your wildest imagination. So I think uh, Starship is almost ready. I'm sure they're going to test it a couple more times before sending it on an official mission. But there we have it. I mean, it's incredible progress that SpaceX is doing. In 2017, you had the first rudimentary Starship that was tested by SpaceX. It was a very makeshift kind of contraption, and in just 7 years they've successfully achieved what they achieved today. It's incredible. The pace at which the progress and development is happening is incredible. Compare that with ISRO. What has changed in ISRO in the past 7 years? Almost nothing. A little bit. You may have whatever the new rocket is called. It's slightly more powerful than the one we had earlier. I mean, it's incremental progress we are doing in ISRO. I'm not blaming the scientists at ISRO, the engineers in ISRO. I'm not blaming the head of ISRO. They can only do what they're allowed to do, what they are ordered to do. But there's no ambition. Why aren't we developing reusable rocket technology? Why aren't we thinking out of the box and doing something even SpaceX hasn't thought of? Why aren't we doing something different? We just following, copying in a small way with a tiny budget. How many launches does ISRO do every year? What, 4, 5? It's simply staggering the lack of ambition our leaders have in the field of science and other fields as well. So I think the US is now way ahead of the rest of the world. What SpaceX is achieving is monumental. I would like to congratulate Elon Musk officially. Elon, if you're watching, congratulations. You're doing tremendously well, and in a few years, probably by 2030 or maybe by 2035, you're gonna have humans on Mars. I think in 2, 3 years, whenever the next launch window opens up, you have a launch video every, I don't know, 26 months or something. You can look it up for Mars. Every few months, 26 or whatever months, you have a launch window that opens up for sending a spacecraft to Mars, which is the optimum amount of travel that you do, least amount of travel, in the shortest amount of time. So whenever that opens up next, I'm sure they're gonna send a couple of, at least one Starship to Mars as a or a test mission. And I think in a few years you're gonna have the first humans that will be sent to Mars. So I think there's tremendous progress that's happening, and SpaceX is showing the world what can be done. So yeah, great to see that. And sad that we have nobody with even 1% of that ambition in India. And if people have ambition, they aren't the ones with the money. So that's where we are.